Good morning. Happy New Year. Welcome back to yoga. We took a week off for Christmas last week, but it's so great to be back here now and beginning this wonderful season of yoga together in the new year. So we know that at this time of year, we have a lot more darkness. It gets dark around 5:30. And it's kind of the name of the game these days. We see that the sun's going down so early, but we have to remember, I'm going to invite you to join me in this season to remember that in darkness is where the seed is planted, and that's where the seed is growing. So unless, you got the seed stuck down in the ground, unless the hard exterior of the seed softens and breaks, then the green new shoots and new plant cannot get out. So in this season, maybe we can think about what is germinating in us and use our practice today as a reminder to soften our hearts, soften our minds, and even soften our bodies as we do our movement and stretching, so that whatever healing, whatever is something new, it's a new season, whatever God might have for us can germinate and grow and come out toward the light. So that's just a little symbolism for you to think about today. And in this season, on the wheel of the medicine wheel, we're entering into that season of darkness. And we think of it as when maybe the fields are lying fallow. Everything's already been harvested. It's just the soil is there just receiving the rain, just receiving moisture as the seeds within underneath that are planted receive the moisture also. So if you can, maybe today think about your body as that wonderful fallow ground that's receiving living water, receiving breath, receiving life, so that those places within can grow. I'm going to invite you now to rest down as we do in our class. Just rest down comfortably on your mat to begin. Resting down, maybe you want to take a pillow under your knees or a little support under your head, a blanket, a rolled up towel, something that will support your neck and maintain that neutral alignment of your spine. So let's begin by noticing where we are. I know that people practice in all different places in their homes. Some people are lying in front of a chest of drawers, maybe by your bed, maybe in your living room by your Christmas tree, maybe you are out in a Florida room. Wherever you are, there must be so many things to see, so many things around you that are symbolic of who you are, the choices that you've made, and what you like to surround yourself with. So I invite you to take a look around this morning and notice those things. What is it around you that makes you, that is symbolic of who you are and how you express yourself in the world? What brings you comfort? And then if it's comfortable for you, draw your gaze to center and close your eyes if you'd like. And we'll begin to send our awareness out to listening to the sounds around us, the sounds of our sacred ordinary. We're going to talk a little bit today, later on in a reading that I have for us about Mary, the mother of Jesus, and how she lived and raised him in the sacred ordinary of her life. And especially during the Advent season that we've just been through, how she nourished him with the sacred ordinary. So listening, what are the sounds of your sacred ordinary this morning? And guiding yourself back to your body, noticing where you are. And this is a journey that we're taking, a process of being present now. How is your body this morning? What do you bring with you? Can you sense in the air around your body the presence of God, breathing, loving, caring? And within your body this morning, let's take a look around and see or think about those places in us that are like that hard shell of the seed, places that are a little tougher, or maybe that need some breath and some watering and some softening. So notice your neck. How's your neck feeling today? Is your face all scrunched up and tense? Are your jaws clenching today? I invite you to release any tension in your jaw. Letting go of shoulders, any tension in your chest. And as we seek to let go of that tension, sometimes we're tense in different places because we're protecting or maybe there's a reason for that, and that's okay. Maybe it's a defense thing that we need to just guard ourselves for a little bit. So these are just things to be aware of, not to be thinking they're good or bad, just to notice. And then noticing your belly and your hips and legs, your feet. And noticing your back resting into the mat underneath. So where does your back meet the mat? Do you notice that the mat comes up to meet you, to give you full support in this practice today? So let's guide our awareness now to our breath. Just watch it for a moment, move in and out without controlling it, changing it. Just notice without judgment. You know, we haven't met for a couple of weeks now. Sometimes when I haven't practiced for a while, when I pay attention to the breath, I notice that it's a little more eager. There's a little more shortness to it. Might feel a little more desperate for a good deep breath. So notice how you feel. Maybe you're terrific. And that is such a blessing. So notice your breath. And as we are here, begin to lengthen out, if you like, your inhalation as you soften in the belly to receive just a nice, full, easy breath. Doesn't have to be any certain way. Just bring it in. And as you exhale, notice how you feel as the body rests a little bit, maybe. Breathing in, breathing out. Once again, thinking about the breath moving in to soothe the hardened places within us, within our heart, within our minds, within ultimately with our bodies as we move and create space for God to move in. So as you're resting and breathing, I'm going to share with you a reading from an author. Her name is Joyce Rupp, and she has written a book called Jesus, Friend of My Soul. And the meditation for today talks about Jesus as being one who lets go. So just notice how this resonates with you today, and if there's any place in you that really hears this. The verse is John 12, verse 4. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains just a single grain. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. A seed contains an amazing potential for life. Before this growth can take place, the seed gives way for its outer hard layer to split apart. This allows for the life inside to awaken and sprout. Jesus knew what it was like to be a seed. Throughout his life, he had to relinquish good things in order to bear fruit. He left behind a secure life in Nazareth to be faithful to his mission. He let go of being understood and of receiving acceptance from people in his hometown, and he released any hope he may have for a good reputation amongst the religious leaders. Each time his teachings and activities were disregarded, challenged, or rejected, Jesus let more of the seed's husk fall away. Jesus did not turn his back on what he felt called to be and to do. His life bore fruit because he continuously gave open-heartedly of himself. Whenever a situation summons us to open ourselves more fully, we become like that wheat grain. Major loss, failure, disappointment, illness, discontent, things of this nature lead us to discover facets of life-giving goodness in ourselves, but only if we are willing to release what holds us back and keeps our inner shell from softening. Ooh, what a message today. So we'll start with a prayer, surrendered one. I am the seed in the hiddenness of the soil. The thick covering that I try hard to preserve seems to take forever to release and open. Keep softening that hard-shelled part of me with your encouragement for my ability to grow. So where do you need to grow this morning? What do you think? Maybe take a moment of quiet now just to lift up a prayer about that or to receive the message. So in our new year, we'll begin our softening and receiving process by taking a big stretch, maybe reaching arms overhead, legs out below, circling wrists, ankles, spreading out fingers, toes, maybe circling out everything. Ooh. Deep breath. And then I invite you to join me to taking your hands to your scalp and just giving your scalp a little massage all around. Notice if your scalp feels tight or tense. And so as we massage our scalp, we also think about nurturing ourselves, nurturing that seed within. We think about softening our thoughts, opening up our minds, breathing. Remember to stay with your easy breath this morning, massaging out your scalp all around, just releasing tension in the skull. Ooh, sometimes I feel like I'm a hard-headed woman. You know what I'm saying? So maybe this time, if you feel that way, maybe this time of massage can inspire you to just release. And we'll come around to the backs of our necks. And as your head rests into the mat below, you can release the weight of your head so that your neck can relax a little bit. And you can just rub down the back of your neck with loving circles. So move down toward the shoulders. And then we'll go up to our ears. And give the ears a little rub inside and out. So notice how it feels for you to massage your ears this morning. And we'll take the tops of our ears and pull them straight up toward the top of our head. Take a breath. Let it out and release. And we'll take this middle of our ears, pull them straight out side to side or whatever feels right. And take a breath here. Think of softening on your exhale. And then take the lobes of your ears and draw them straight down toward your shoulders. Breathe. Good. And we'll take our fingertips to our temples. Give your temples a little massage. And down to your jaw where the joint is of the upper jaw, lower jaw, place where we chew and talk. See how tight that is for you. Maybe you hold tension here. And we'll work our way down from the jaw, all the way down the jaw line to the point of your chin. So just feeling that. Good. And once you get down to the center, to the point of your chin, we'll tuck our thumbs underneath the chin and take your fingers on top of the chin and then pull side to side along the line of your jaw down, back on up to your ears. And we'll do that a few times. Pull it back and up towards your ears and release. Breathe. Good. And then we'll kind of shake out the fingers a little bit and take cross your arms over your chest and take hold of shoulder to shoulder. So your arms are crossed on your chest, caressing your shoulders, and begin to massage there. Just massage the shoulders and work your way down. I'm sitting up, but you're lying down maybe. If you like to sit up, you can. I just want to tell you that it's okay if you're lying down. That's a good thing. And you'll work your way down toward the elbows and all the way down to your wrists. Breathe. Good. And then all the way back up to your elbows again. Squeeze and move up to the elbow and then back up to your shoulder. Good. And then we'll take a deep breath in, let your arms grow outside to side, blossom from the heart out to the side. Take a breath. Good. And on your exhale, take your hands now to your belly. And we're just going to massage our belly in any way that feels right. You can just make big round circles all over the tummy. And if this is comfortable for you, you can do that. If not, just rest your hands there or down by your side. But if you'd like, just making circles on your abdomen. And as you do this, soft, easy breath, noticing what you're feeling in the muscles of your abdominal wall there. Are they already tense? Can you breathe and let them soften to let space come into the abdominal cavity? Think about all your organs receiving fresh blood flow and oxygen from the breath. Good. And then we'll go down to the legs. So we're going to pick up the right leg, draw your knee in towards your chest, and then just begin to massage out your thigh. Just massage the thigh. We usually do this sitting up, but today we're just going to try it lying down. Work down to your knee, come all the way up, reaching up towards your calf and your ankle. You don't have to do your feet yet. So you're just kind of bending the knee to reach wherever you can as you're lying down and just massaging your leg just to feel it. Maybe you've been running around doing a lot of things in this season. So just come home to your leg, massaging there. And then we'll bring it back down, the sole of the foot on the floor, bending the right knee. And let's take the left knee in. And we'll do the same thing, working the thigh as well as you can. When you just do whatever you need to do to reach it. And working the front and the back of your leg. Find your knee, say hello to your sweet knee there, and then move your massage down through the shin and the calf, squeezing, stroking, whatever feels good. We're going to do our feet when we sit up. Good, good. So you can release that foot down. So both knees are bent. Notice how your legs feel. Notice how your body feels, your belly, your arms, your neck, your face, your scalp. Resting here in a couple of easy breaths. Can you feel a sense of ease coming in? Can you feel a sense of release and softening? Just notice. Good. And then we'll take one more big stretch in, end to end, arms up over your head, legs out below, circling out, reaching, lifting. And then as you exhale, draw your knees into your chest. And we'll roll over onto our side, over toward the screen. Take a moment there to regroup. And then we'll come up to sitting. And we'll come to sitting with our legs out in front. So we'll take the legs out in front and sit up nice and tall. Just to stretch the legs out and maybe reach out ahead of you just now to give your legs a little sweep. Press out, come on up, ease out the shoulders. Good, get yourself comfortable here. Maybe like I am, sitting on the edge of a blanket if you'd like, or towel, whatever you feels good. And then we'll just pick up one foot, take it in. We're going to do a little foot massage quickly here. Come home to our feet. So allow your hands to have loving intention as you take hold of your foot. And just give it some little squeezes all around just to say hello. How does it feel? Is it a little chilly? And some chilly paws here this morning. So just gentle squeezes. And then we will take hold of our foot and gently circle from the ankle in one direction, then the other direction, allowing the ankle to be very soft. You don't have to hold it tight. You just want it to be easy and just feel that range of motion in the ankle joint. And then we'll take hold of our toes and place your hands on top, around, and just move them back and forth. Breathe. Good. And let's take one toe at a time, and we'll do that little, it's like rolling a little piece of dough with each toe and then pull it. So we want to give the pinky toe a little roll and a little tug. And then we'll move on to the next toe, a little roll, a little tug. Breathe, remember your breath. So we're thinking about softening, opening, and this works on all levels. Your body here, your heart, mind. Work out your big toe there, give it a little tug. And then we'll take our thumbs and just massage down the sole of your foot. So we'll take it and just allow the thumbs to work down. Notice if when you press any point, maybe it feels a little crispy, or you feel it up in another part of your body, and notice that connection between all the nerve endings on the soles of our feet and the rest of our body. You know, they say if your feet are happy, your body's happy. Or if your feet are not happy, the rest of your body is not happy. So notice how this feels as you massage down the sole of your foot. Good. And then we'll just take the heel and just squeeze it around like you're maybe juicing an orange, rubbing down the Achilles tendon here. Breathe. And then we'll give our foot a little tap. And take your ankle there, release your tension in your foot, and just shake it out. Good. And then supporting under your thigh, press your leg out, spread your toes. And lay your leg down, and we'll take other side. So take your other foot up, loving intention in your hands, and take hold of your foot. Give it some squeezes all around just to say hello. Breathe. Yes. Easy breath. And then softening the joint, the ankle joint, take hold of your foot and gently circle. So you're just going to circle the ankle around just a few times, one way, other way. Breathe. I don't imagine anybody's been wearing stiletto heels during this season, but if you like to wear those around the house, watching television, maybe you need this, I don't know. And then come back to center, and we'll take hold of our toes and just kind of move them back and forth, waking up the toes. Breathe. Good. And then we'll take one toe at a time, give it a little twirl, a little press and circle. When you were a kid, did you play with Play-Doh and you made those just little balls of dough with Play-Doh? That's kind of what we're doing this morning. A little pull, a little tug. And twirl it around, give it a tug. And work your way towards your big toe there. Good. And then take the thumbs underneath and just massage the sole of your foot a little bit. Notice what pressure you prefer. Notice if you like a little deeper. Notice if your feet are real sensitive. Maybe there's some places in your feet that feel a little tender today. You might want to just stop and just spend a little extra time there. And then work your way down to your heel, and then give that little juicing action in the heel. And a little scrubbing of the Achilles tendon. You know, that's white tendon. They call it white muscle or what have you, just because it doesn't get a lot of circulation. It's tough tissue that holds, it kind of connects your foot to your ankle up to your leg. So it's really some taut, fibrous connective tissue. So it's good to just rub it out a little bit. Good. And then we'll rub our feet, just rub it out. It's like you're making a fire. There you go. And then hold on to your ankle, shake it out, and then we'll support underneath your leg, press it out. Yes, spread your toes. Take a breath. And down we go. And let's reach forward again. Take a little reach, a little pet, and sit up tall. So taking your legs out. So if you need to support beside you with your fingertips, little Spider-Man fingers there. But make sure the shoulders are just resting down away from your ears. And so I know, let's see, let me move back a little bit so that you can see we're flexing and pointing through the feet. So there they are, they're there, flex and point. Just working through the ankles a little bit. Notice how your ankles and feet feel now that you've given them a nice little loving massage this morning. I hope that feels good. Good. Time to turn the page. Yes. Cheat sheet. This is my cheat sheet here. So yes. Okay. So we're good. We're just flexing and pointing, circling out the ankles. Good. And then we'll take the knee up and hold that sweet foot in your hand again and your knee and rock back and forth. So the point of this is to begin to create space in the hip socket. You might want to take that leg and circle it around a little bit, bringing some circulation in. Breathe. Good. Good. And then we'll take this, take your ankle, put it across the opposite knee, sit up tall here, and just see how this feels. So if you want to, what this targets is the back of your hip on the bent knee side. So see how that feels. If that's enough sensation for you, stay here. If you'd like, you can just kind of tilt back a little bit, keeping the belly lifted and bending the bottom knee, which will give you more feeling in that bottom leg. As you're here, you want to take this knee and press it away from you a little bit. So if you're here, great. If you're out here, that's great. If you're way up, that's fine. And if you'd like even more, you can take the foot that's on the floor, flex the ankle, and press up. So let's just take a couple of breaths here. How does this feel for you? Settle in. And stretch the bottom leg out, stretch the top leg out. We'll change sides. Bring this knee up, this foot, and kind of rock it back and forth. So you might notice that one side feels really different. And circle around. Sometimes after doing what we do in our lives, sometimes one side is a little tighter. There's all kinds of things going on. But your body's always working hard to keep you safe, keep you aware, keep you healthy. Breathe. And then we're going to rest the foot across the knee. And if this is great for you here, stay here. If you like, sit back a little bit. Don't slouch. Sit up. Bend the bottom knee. Just see where you need to go. Shoulders are broad. And let's breathe here. So this is a place that when we think about softening, maybe through here, maybe through the hip, soften your awareness of it. Soften your thoughts about it. Where do you need to let go? You like to flex that bottom ankle there. You might feel a little bit more opening and softening. Just breathe. And then we release that foot down, stretch the legs out again. Good, so let's go. Oh yes, you know how you do something and suddenly you feel like you need to do something else. So I'm reaching here and I sort of feel like I needed a little wiggle there. So you just see what you need to do maybe now. It would feel nice for you. And we'll cross the legs here. Again, if you need your two rolled up towels or blankets or pillows underneath the outer thighs, please take that to support the weight of your legs. But we're just going to open up the energy centers now in our body and sit up tall. Draw the abdominals in, lift. So there's this wonderful, just this funnel of energy coming up through the spine, all the way up through the crown of your head, blossoming out. So just maybe feeling that support of the spine here, lifting. The tummy is in, back is lifted. And we'll just take a breath. And then sail over to your right side, circle around. Noticing how your breath feels. I don't know if you're seeing this post on it's a notice that I need to update something. So, and we're gonna go the other way. Which way was I going? I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna circle around. Good, and then we'll come back to center and take a nice deep breath in, sit up tall and exhale. Scoop your pelvis under, round your back behind you, arms can lengthen. Allow your head to drop forward. And then we'll inhale, sit up nice and tall, broaden your shoulders, lift up. So this is like your little camel ride here, back, gliding back, sitting up. So what you're doing here is working the spine back and forth. Now you don't have to make it a big motion. It can be just slight. You just want to feel and use the abdominals here. Use the back to lift, heart open, shoulder blades come together. Exhale. This is almost like a seated cat-cow here. We're just working the spine. If it's not comfortable for you, please back off. Good, and we'll come to center, come on up. And on your next, take your hands in front of your heart here. On your next inhale, grow them out. Grow the arms out, open the heart. And on your exhale, gather in, take your chin down. So I'm gonna ask you today to just stay here, lift up tall, maybe compress the shoulders a little bit, and then lift your head up. Maybe stretching the front of your neck a little bit. And then inhale, take your head back to center. Exhale, round. Inhale, sit up. Take your chin back a little. Doesn't have to be too far. And come back to center. On your inhale, grow your arms out. Exhale, come in. And inhale, grow. Blossom, exhale, come in. And we'll release the arms down and take a breath. We're going to do lion's breath now. So inhale here. And we'll take our tongue out, eyes look up. Do it 3 more times. One more time. And then quiet your face. Lift your belly. Open the heart. Soften your shoulders. And now we'll take fingertips to forehead and just sweep side to side. Completing our face massage that we did earlier. Side to side. Clearing out the mind. Whoo, yes. Are there any negative thoughts that need to go? Yep, let's go. Let's get out. Out, out, out. And then interlace your fingers ahead of you. Take your palms out, soften the shoulders, press out. On your inhale, sweep the arms up over your head, press up to the sky. Let the shoulders soften away from your ears. And we'll press up on the inhale. On your exhale, just drop the hands to your crown of your head. Inhale, press up. Exhale down, so you're drawing in all the good thoughts. Inhale up. Say, yes, I receive you. Exhale. Press up. Stay here. Breathe in real nice and deep when you're ready. On your exhale, release and float the arms out. Side to side. Good. So take a moment to settle here. Breathe, feel your shoulders, your back, ease out the shoulders. And we'll take one shoulder up and back, other shoulder up and back. Breathe. Let it be nice and fluid. So this is that season when we're thinking about softening that outer hard shell so that whatever's inside can begin to grow out in the spring. And then we'll take the shoulders forward. And then add your elbows. And full backstroke here. Remember, the tummy's still in a little bit to support you. And then let's swim it forward. Yes. Do a little crawl, a little forward crawl. Nice. Good. And let's take both hands down, take the arms up and out. And let your hands come to rest beside you. Take a breath. Notice how your body feels here. Are you feeling ready for some movement, ready for some more action? I hope so, because we're going to go on to hands and knees. We're going to do a little flow here between cat-cow and down dog. But before we do our flow, we're going to go to all fours. As you can see, I'm just going to put my blanket under here to demonstrate that you can have a blanket or something under your knees. Hands comfortably pressing down to the floor, either a little bit away from you to take some tension or some pressure off the shoulders, or right underneath the shoulders, maybe a little wider than the shoulders. You can do that. And so let's come to table, and as we're here, we might want to watch for a second because we're just going to release down in between. Let the shoulder blades come together and then press the shoulder blades apart. And then let them come together. You're just kind of sinking in and then pressing them apart. This is just releasing and hopefully letting go of some tension in the upper back. So let's take the shoulder blades together and then drop your chin towards your chest and just settling there, keeping your tummy toned here. Let your tummy support. And then press up, lift your head. Go into cow, so you're going to look forward. Take a breath here. On your exhale, just simply go into cat now and rounding. You're going to stretch out the back. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale into cat. And inhale to cow this time. Exhale, cat. And then settle back into child's pose. So take your toes together, separate your knees a little bit, sit back on your hips. Just stretch out long. And then on your inhale, come on back up to all fours, tuck your toes. We'll press back to a very easy down dog. Press back, send your heels down toward the mat. So this is a good place to check in. You want to draw the shoulders away from your ears, press one heel down, other heel down, draw your tummy in, tread it out a little bit, walk your dog this morning. And then both heels pressing down toward the ground, don't have to meet the ground. Just let your head hang and look down at your feet. Notice that your arches are lifted a little bit, so they're not just mashing down into the ground. You're really working in the center of your foot, pressing your heel back. Press back a little farther. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in, drop your knees to the mat and exhale, child's pose. So from here, we're going to go into our just a down dog child's pose flow. So I'm going to inhale, come on up to all fours, tuck your toes under, press back to down dog. Exhale, yum. And inhale, drop your knees to the mat, release your toes away from you. Exhale, child's pose. On your inhale, floating up to all fours, tuck your toes. Exhale, press back to your down dog. And inhale, drop your knees to the mat, release your toes, child's pose. And last time, come on up, tuck your toes, press back, down dog. Take a moment here to tread it out and wiggle around, see what your body's asking for. If your body's asking to please come out of down dog, you can begin to walk your feet towards your hands and your hands to your feet. But if you need a little bit more down dog, take a couple more squirms there. Wiggly dog. And then walk your feet towards your hands, hands towards your feet. And we'll take our hands to our shins and look ahead. Come up halfway, drawing the belly in nice and long. Exhale, forward fold. Your weight is in the center of your feet. Lift up your toes. Relax your shoulders. Take a breath and hang here. Let your toes rest, spread apart, and then hold elbow to elbow and just hang here a little bit. So take a couple of breaths hanging in center. And then we're just going to take hands to the knees, climb up. Climb all the way up to standing. Oh, come on up. And as you come up, you might even want to rub the back of your legs coming up. This way you can really connect with your body a little bit more. Come on up. Rub the tummy a little bit. Come home to yourself. So are you feeling all those cookies, those Christmas cookies? They were so good. All the cookies, sweet potato pie. It was so good. I loved every bite. It was delicious. So we're just going to come to center and kind of bang it out a little bit. Just bounce. Just let it go. Soften it up. Notice how this feels for you today. And then if you'd like, just kind of work your way into a little twirl around and around. I'm wondering, what was your favorite treat over Christmas? I thought everything was awesome. I just had so much fun. And then come back to center. Let your arms just keep flinging, flying, and come back to center. Take a breath here. Good. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of pressing. So we're going to press it down. So something we might explore in this season is a little bit of rhythm. So I'm just going to ask you to press your foot down, take your hands down, and you can do it any way that feels right to you. You don't have to copy me. But the point of this is just to bring some ease and flow into your body. Notice how that feels for you. So we're stationary here, but I'm going to invite you just for the next few steps to just sort of walk it around. Just walk it around. See how that feels. Connect with the ground. Take it down. Take it down. You can do anything with your arms. What if you just shook the arms a little bit? What if you just flow the arms around? What if you do that little swimming motion as you walk around? Just try it. Feel it moving. And what if we now just come to center and just begin to go back and forth? Notice where your breath goes. And then maybe make it a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. Little arms swimming around. And swim it out forward. And then swim it back. Just going to take a little backstroke here. Little side to side, whatever feels right for you. Good. Good. And then we're just going to come side to side, begin to step our legs together, and come to center and stand. Take a breath. And settle here. Notice how your body feels. Just let the breath settle. And come to mountain pose, where we stand with our feet about hip width apart, grounding through your feet. You might want to rock front to back a little bit and just knead the ground with your feet a little bit, back and forth. And then come to a place of center where your weight is in the center of your feet. The muscles of your legs are gathering in, hugging the bones. So you just want to gently engage all the muscles of your legs. Your tummy begins to lift. So it's this beautiful fountain of energy that comes up from the ground to the soles of your feet, through your heart, out through your shoulders. How does that feel? It's even coming up through the crown of your head. And as it comes up, it's just fountaining out. Let's take that. Let's inhale. Take your hands to your pubic bone. And on your inhale, pull up. And we'll take it all the way up and blossom out. Feel the space. Very intentional. Inhale. Soft, easy. One more time. Take it up. Good. And then we'll take hands to heart. Notice how it feels to be in center here after connecting, breathing, moving. Interlace your fingers if you like with a little steeple mudra, first fingers up, pointer fingers up, or you can take palms here. Take your hands down, inhale and lift. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit, arc over to the right side. Inhale up, so your tummy and your back are stable. You're really stabilizing through the belly. Exhale. Inhale here, press out the opposite side. And inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up, exhale over. So just take this easy. Nice and easy. So we're thinking about softening and opening. Where do you feel an opening? Where do you feel you need an opening? And we'll come back to center, lift up. So tuck your tail a little bit, but it's not really tucking your tail hard. You're just gathering in your abdominals and you're going to lift in the belly and just take a little gaze up. Tiny little back bend as you strengthen through your legs. Press your feet into the ground, look up. Tiny back bend here. On your exhale, swan dive forward. Draw your tummy in, come forward, take a forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold again. And then inhale, lift and swoop. Arms come up, palms touch, and down through center to the heart. And breathe. And so we'll spread the legs wide, standing wide. So take a moment to notice how you feel here. Sometimes we jump the legs apart and start doing things, but what we'd like to do today is really begin to connect with where we are and how our body feels with our legs out. So you notice that you have to change your sense of awareness for center of gravity, for how you're drawing energy up through your legs, staying stable in the waistline, lifting up. So if you do that, if you have a nice core strength, then your limbs are free to move around with grace. So it's a friend of mine was reminding me today, last weekend, of the saying, opening to grace. That's what this is about, opening to grace. Isn't that beautiful? So we're lifting up, opening to the breath, opening to that living water within. Oh my gosh, so yummy. So what we're going to start with is a little bit of side to side here. So maybe take your hands to your thighs and just press in side to side. See how that feels in your inner thighs, your knees. Be careful. You might want to take your toes out to the side a little bit. Breathe. And then we're going to work our way down toward the mat. So you can bend your knees as much as you need to. Take our hands down right underneath your shoulders. So you just maybe want to climb out a little bit so your back can be long here. I'll show you. Turn sideways. So instead of just collapsing over here, I'm going to be up with my hands out so that I can have my weight in the center of my feet and then just kind of shift side to side here. So I'll climb back around this way and we'll just shift a little bit side to side. Notice how your legs feel. Notice how your knees are. Just kind of waking up the inner thighs here. And breathe. So moving over to your left side, just kind of stay there for a little bit. You might need to climb your hands over a little. You're going to notice maybe a little opening in the inner right thigh. Easy breath. And then we'll shift over to the other side. Take some time opening there, inner left thigh. Keep your weight in the center of your feet. Draw your abdominals and lengthen from your belly button to your sternum. Nice long spine. And then we'll come back to center. Take your hands to your knees. Shift back a little bit. We're going to just roll up. Nice and easy. Take your time. Let your circulation regroup. Come on to center. Ease out the arms. Okay, so we'll keep the legs out. We're going to go into a warrior two. So as we do that, I'm going to take the legs comfortably wide. The back foot's going to angle in a little bit. Most of us have done this 1,000 times, but try to approach this today with a sense of curiosity and a sense of newness. Every day is different. So let's angle the foot in, take the other foot and angle it out toward the side. And so now we're going to say, well, what's this supposed to do to my hips? It's a little awkward in some ways. So taking your hip bones as best you can forward, looking straight ahead, you'll notice there's going to be this spiraling out of your inner thighs there. And you want to draw the belly up. Take your hands to your hips and just sort of maybe press side to side a little bit. Get comfortable. Find your place of stability. Kind of bounce around with it a little bit and find where you feel really grounded. Your body is not my body. So press down, see what you think. And as best you can, just come on back to center and lift the tummy. Press into the side where your foot is out straight to the side. You're going to press through. See how that feels. The back foot that's angled in, you're going to press out toward the pinky toe side of that foot. Press out. And press through the center of the front foot. So, and now the shoulders are right over your hips, whatever that is. And we'll take arms up. Take an inhale. Exhale, blossom out into your warrior two. So the shoulders are soft, arms are reaching out, energy from the ground up through center, out through the arms, and also up through the top of your head. Ooh, plus pressing down and out. So you've got it going on all directions here. Take a moment to breathe. Listen to your body. Maybe take your gaze over the front fingertips. Yes, this is the seed place where the seed grows. Let's breathe. And on your inhale, lengthening through that front leg, going to stay aligned and just sort of reach way, way out. Strengthen through the legs, pull up through the belly, all the way out through the crown of your head. And maybe take your hand to your thigh. Take the top hand to your hip. Press it out a little bit and draw the top shoulder back. Normalize your hips. And then just see. What do you think? Play with it a little bit. Do I want to stay here? Here, maybe go down a little more, opening, strengthen the legs. But if you're comfortable there, if you'd like, just release the arm up and breathe. So we're breathing. Little triangle, extended triangle. Breathe. If you need to come out, come out. And then it's going to be like somebody's pulling your fingers up. Just lift up. Going to angle up, strong in your legs. And then press back into that warrior two as you allow the forearm to rest on your thigh. So see what I'm doing? I'm adjusting, so I'm not just collapsing. Here, lengthen up, arm comes down, and a nice side bend here. Reaching long through these top fingertips, down through your hip, down through the outside of your foot. So it's just like a track. It's just a diagonal line. So you can really feel it pressing down into your feet. And then come on up. And release. Good. So ease it out. Let's do a little more of that. Just shake it out. Shake out your sillies here. Good. And then we'll go the other side. So let's take other toes out straight beside you. The opposite foot angles in. So once again, you have to adjust. Find your center. Catch your breath. Energy pulling up. Arms come up and float out and just glide out into your warrior two. Finding that strength through your legs, through the base. Easy breath. Maybe you could do that with your arms. Just take a breath and float the arms up. And exhale, float down. Maybe go a little deeper in this leg, but it doesn't matter. Just be where you're stable. Strong, easy. Take your gaze over your front fingertips. Good. Couple of breaths here. Nice and easy. Feel your feet on the floor. Your body stacked on one part of the body on top of the other. And then on your inhale, lengthen your front leg. And that's just where we reach out with an attitude. We're just going to go, Take the top hand to your hip, roll your shoulder back. So this means that your tail has to come under just a little bit. But what you're really doing is hanging onto your abdominals here. And then your bottom hand comes here. See how the chest opens? Or slide down and take this opposite hip out to the side a little more. Press out through the groin here and lift up. So find your triangle for today. Even if you need to grab a chair and rest one hand on your chair, that's perfect. Press it out. Easy, easy. Sometimes I like to squirm around and just see how my shoulder's doing. Breathing here. Good. And now we'll see pulling up. Fingertips pull up. Ooh, press down into that warrior two just for a moment to transition into that nice, graceful, extended side angle. So your arm's going to go down to your thigh. Bottom hand sweeps up. I like this because if you come around like this, the top shoulder can blossom out, blossom back, and reach. So feel that strength in your legs. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. You're getting stronger. And then come on up. Take the arms out. So we're going to just maneuver around to the other side. Just kind of circle around. Take your feet around with you. Don't unscrew your feet. Yeah, do. Unscrew your feet and come this way. So you're going to turn to the side. Take your arms up. And then bend your front leg. Come on down. Take your hands to the ground. And we'll step back into a down dog here. Press back, down dog. And then on your inhale, drop your knees to the mat. And come to sitting. You made it. You're back on the floor. Yay. Back on the floor again. So come to sitting. We'll take soles of the feet together. And we're going to do a little body wave this morning. So take a moment to get settled. You might want to have your blanket tucked under your hips. Okay. Tuck under your hips, sitting up tall. And we'll do a little body wave. So we're going to, that sounds like, did you ever get a body wave? Yeah, it's not like that. This is different. So you're going to inhale, take your spine up tall. Exhale, keeping your spine long. Rock forward. You can take your hands on your knees or elbows. Your elbows to your knees. Or, yeah, you could take your hands out if you want. Or this way. Just rocking forward. And then you're just going to round over. And as you're rounded over, just shift your weight back. So you're just kind of rocking back in that folded C shape. Tummy's in. And then you're going to inhale, lift up. And spill forward again. So spilling forward, rocking back. So notice your hands might really take a little journey there. You're going to spill forward, long spine, hands come down, rock back. And my hands want to just glide right back up toward my knees and come on up. Last time, take it through and spill forward. And we're going to stay there. So just hanging here a little bit. Take a nice deep breath in, hanging forward. Close your eyes if you'd like. Good. And from here, we're going to pull forward long and sit up. So long spine to sit. On your inhale, exhale, round and spill forward. Inhale, pull through. Lift, exhale, round, spill forward. Inhale, pull through and lift. Tummy's in, exhale, down, spill forward. Do it one more time. Inhale, pull through long, sit up tall, exhale down, and then sit up straight. Good. And breathe. And then let's just take legs out, side to side, wherever you're comfortable. And we'll just sway a little bit, side to side. So you might want to notice pressing one leg down, Other leg down. And maybe just kind of scooching forward and around, circling around ahead of you. Notice the difference as you switch from side to side. And other way. And now we're going to work our way back to center and just hold here. So you can walk your hands out if that feels good. Send a little energy, just a little gentle energy down through the legs. So you're going to have a little engagement of the quadricep muscle as you press out through the sole of your foot. It's whoosh this way and whoosh that way. And then long spine, inhale, exhale, forward fold. So come down to your level of comfort. And stay here for a moment. So this is where we're going to quiet our thoughts. Become very present to this place. And ask yourself, where can I soften? Do I need to back off anywhere? How can I lengthen? How can I bring more breath, more release into the harder shells of my body? And resting in that place. And as you're ready, pressing up to sitting. We'll come to cross legs and do a little twist. Inhale up. Exhale to your right. Just take a little twist here. Lifting the spine, taking your spiral around. And this is where you practice increasing the range of motion in your head and neck too. So we're going to look behind us. Shoulders are soft. Take a breath. On your exhale, stay here, but just allow your head to turn in the opposite direction. Keep the shoulders down, keep the belly lifted. Breathe. Take your head back around. And take a breath here. On your exhale, release. And round back, change feet. And we'll inhale, come up. Exhale, twist other way. So you're thinking about lengthening your spine so that you can create space in between the vertebrae, and they're not crunching together to twist, they're lifting and then spiraling. Sort of like a picture of DNA, you know how it's long, but it's that long parallel twist. So you want to think about it maybe that way. So looking over your shoulder here, take a breath, soften your shoulders, and on your exhale, let your head look over the opposite shoulder. And then make your way back. Take a breath. On your exhale, come around to center, and we'll take the feet out. Take a breath, lift up. Exhale, round. Inhale, up. We're just equalizing the spine and center now since we've been twisting around it. So we'll inhale up nice and tall. Exhale, nice and round. And inhale up. And exhale, rounding, and we're going to round all the way onto our backs. So come on down. You can take hold of your thighs if you'd like, or if you can, just reaching out. And as you roll down, let's take arms overhead, legs out, take a big stretch. Take your arms to goalpost arms and let your shoulder blades tuck underneath you as you bend your knees. And we'll just let the knees rock side to side. And come back to center here. Notice how your chest feels. So the goalpost arms really allows the breath to come in to the chest. So take a couple of breaths here, maybe long, slow, full, and deep. And then we're going to widen our feet so that they're about mat width apart. And just let the legs drop, the knees drop over to the right side. Pressing up through the left hip a little bit if you'd like, and just relaxing there. Just relaxing here, pressing if you'd like, so that the front of the left thigh really presses out, maybe gets a little space there. And then we'll come up through center and go the other way. as you're here, notice your right shoulder blade. Maybe tuck it gently underneath you, fold it under a little bit. And then taking your awareness down through your right rib cage, come gliding over the hip pointer here, the front hip bone around to the back of your hip on your rear end, and kind of tuck that under and lift it, press it forward. Might notice a little more opening in the front of your thigh. Breathe, let go if you need to. And then soften here. And we'll take the knees back to center. And rock a little bit side to side to normalize that. And then take your knees hip width apart, feet hip width apart. We'll scoop the hips under, do a little bridge. So we're going to float the hips up, take arms over your head. So you're sending your knees away from you as you lift your thighs. Let the shoulders be very easy. You can take goalpost arms here too, which feels nice. But pressing into your feet, lifting, opening the front body a little bit. And on your exhale, rolling down, one vertebrae at a time. Take your time and plant the hips down. Take arms over your head and legs out. And reach. And from here, moving into the final pose, Shavasana. So taking your blanket rolled under your knees if you'd like, or blanket under your head, bolster, pillow. But just do whatever you need to do to make yourself comfortable here. And we'll take time for some guided relaxation and then a reading. So I'm just going to shift forward so I can talk to you. You're resting on the floor if you'd like. And coming back to a natural, easy breath. Going back to those thoughts of our bodies being that fertile ground that rests in winter in the darkness. Allowing God to grow things within us. Not forcing, not pushing, but receiving and being nourished and softened. And just looking around us with curiosity, looking within, saying, Lord, what are you doing within me now? Where do I really need to receive your nourishment? Where do I need to soften and receive? So allowing your body to rest. Allowing the back to settle in, your tummy to soften, face to soften. Notice your jaw and allow the muscles around the jaw to release so that your teeth maybe separate within your mouth. Maybe your mouth would open a little bit, even if that feels right. Soft, easy breath. I have a little reading for us today from a book called The Reed of God, and it's a story about the journey of Mary as she had Christ growing within her. And we call that an Advent season. So our literal season of Advent is coming to a close, but within our lives, we may always have seasons here and there of Christ going within as a seed, as Mary agreed to within her own body. So I'm just going to read this to you today, and you can take away from it whatever you need. You can allow yourself to just rest there and not think about anything. Just breathing naturally, easily, softening. A reading about Advent seasons. Advent is the season of the seed. Christ loved the symbol of the seed. The seed, he said, is the word of God sown in the human heart. The kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed. So is the kingdom of God as if a man should cast a seed into the earth. Even Christ's own lifeblood was like a seed to him. Unless the grain of wheat falling into the ground die, it remains alone. The Advent, the seed of the world's life, was hidden in Mary, the mother of Jesus. Like the wheat seed in the earth, the seed of the bread of life was in her. Like the golden harvest in the darkness of the earth, the glory of God was shrined in her darkness. Advent is the season of the secret of the growth of Christ, of divine love growing in silence. It is the season of humility, silence, and growth. For 9 months, Christ grew in his mother's body. By his own will, she formed him from herself, from the simplicity of her daily life. She had nothing to give him but herself. He asked for nothing else. She gave him herself, working, eating, sleeping. She was forming his body from hers, his flesh and blood. From her humanity, she gave him his humanity. Walking in the streets of Nazareth to do her shopping, to visit her friends, she set his feet on the path to Jerusalem. Washing, weaving, kneading, sweeping, her hands prepared his hands for the nails. Every beat of her heart gave him his heart to love with, his heart to be broken by love. All her experience of the world around her was gathered to Christ growing in her. Looking upon the flowers, she gave him human sight. Talking with her neighbors, she gave him a human voice. The voice we still hear in the silence of souls saying, "Consider the lilies of the field." Sleeping in her room, she gave him the sleep of the child in the cradle, the sleep of the young man rocked in the storm-tossed boat. Breaking and eating the bread, drinking the wine of the country, she gave him his flesh and blood. She prepared the host for the Mass. This time of Advent is absolutely essential to our contemplation too. If we truly have given our humanity to be changed into Christ, it is essential to us that we do not disturb this time of growth. It is a time of darkness, of faith. We shall not see Christ's radiance in our lives yet. It is still hidden in our darkness. Nevertheless, we must believe that he is growing in our lives. We must believe it so firmly that we cannot help relating everything, literally everything, to this almost incredible reality. This attitude it is which makes every moment of day and night a prayer. So how do you sense Christ growing in you these days? That place of secret, the inner rooms, the temple of your spirit, Christ living, growing, speaking, loving. Take a moment to rest, a moment to breathe. So beginning now to guide your awareness back to your body, resting and thinking maybe about places in the heart that are enfolding around the seed of Christ, nourishing, watering, and then taking the stretch. Can we once again, as we move and stretch, think about opening those places that are harder, more resistant, and then guiding these to chest as we rock ourselves gently side to side. And make your way over to one side, taking a moment to regroup in your body. And as you rest here, looking around, seeing your familiar, your sacred ordinary, and press yourself slowly up to sitting. we'll take hands to heart. I pray for you today that that Spirit of Christ would be so deep within, that with every breath, aware or not, you would know that the Christ lives within. That every cell in your body could receive that love, that healing, that no matter where you are on your journey, just to know that Christ feeds you, loves you, sees you, knows you, carries you. And that in this season, when the darkness falls early, we can return our minds to those thoughts of the goodness that lies within and leave our mats today, leave this place to make every walk, every moment a prayer in some way. Lord, we thank you for that. We thank you that you are always present to us, you know us, you love us. May our lives just brim over with that secret within, that secret of you, that others might see it and ask, what is your secret, that we might share you with the world. We thank you, love you, and praise you in your name. Amen. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time. And here I am.
Thank
Shalom.
you. Thank you, Kristy.